with Michael Hunter, President and CEO of Cloud9. So Michael, Cloud9 has a technologically advanced program. Can you talk to us about what you're offering with Cloud9?
Yeah, sure. So Cloud9 Education Group has created the Cloud9 ESL program, which is a cloud-hosted digital English as a second language curriculum that would take a student from hello, my name is Rachel, all the way through university level English.
Very good. So what is the inspiration behind Cloud9? How did it start?
Well, perhaps my own history in terms of I've lived all over the world. I lived in Kenya, East Africa as a boy, spoke Swahili growing up, did the obligatory French in high school, and then going through university studied Mandarin going back to 1987, which was a little bit ahead of the curve. So I've been interested in languages all my life, ran a translation company for a number of years, and had a lot of curiosity around how English as a language came to dominate the linguistic market internationally.
Very good. Now, going into how English is the top, do you think that ESL programs are here to stay, or will they hold up against other languages?
Yeah, English has become not just a language of business, but the language of business and science for one reason, and that is simplicity. It's a simple 26-letter alphabet, no accents. If you can remember 26 letters in an alphabet, you can spell every word in the English language without exception. There is no other language in the world that offers that kind of simplicity, ease of use, ease of memory. Not just a language of business, but business and science. Computer code written in English. In fact, English generates more as a language than all of the other languages combined each year. 35 billion for English versus about 24 for all of the other languages combined. Gives you a sense of its dominance in the market.
Right, so how does your program teach your students? You have a school in Vancouver, I understand.
Sure, we have a school in Vancouver called Cloud9 College. It's an accredited ESL school, and it's a big part of the program in terms of it provides a real life environment where we can make sure that changes that we make to the curriculum are going to have the intended effect. We're able to put them in front of our students and see how they respond and make sure that their learning outcomes are what we expect the learning outcomes to be, and that we can maintain a very, very high standard. But our primary focus is in selling this cloud-hosted, digital-focused ESL curriculum. It isn't just an electronic textbook. It's a whole curriculum that really, because of its cloud-hosted nature, is ever current, unlike a textbook. So you can think about...
It updates.
We can update it, and in a nanosecond and at no additional charge, every user's curriculum is updated at that point.
That's right.
So we can take something that happened in the world last month and build it into the curriculum next month. And again, things that textbooks could never hope to achieve. In that sense, we're a true publishing disruptor.
Yeah, and you're saving paper, which is great for the environment.
We're saving a lot of paper, although one needs to understand that we call it a digital focus curriculum because you still need to teach students how to write. Tests are done with pen and paper.
Oh, I see.
Certainly we don't want to take away from the ability of a student to write a test. And interestingly, there's a very strong connection between learning outcomes and writing versus typing or using a keyboard. So for those reasons, we make sure that we add writing as a component.
Very good. Now I understand that also Brazil, you entered the market there in 2015 and then Mexico in 2016. What do you think made your program very likable for these countries?
Well, for one thing, students today are living in a mobile world, and they're not looking to pack around textbooks all the time, especially textbooks that are out of date by the time they get them.
Right.
So to be able to provide students with a curriculum that was available at their fingertips, literally day and night, as long as they had an internet connection, they could look up what was coming tomorrow and the assignments, what they had to work on from yesterday's assignments. For our instructors, they liked it because we were able to provide, again, a curriculum that was always current and in that sense engaging because students were able to connect with the content. It was relative to their lifetime, to their recent lifetime. And we're able to provide what we call analytics. So we're able to help the teachers understand how their class is learning so that they can actually manage their time in the class better. So for example, rather than just introducing a topic in the class, our teachers can provide a little instructional video to their students. They can watch it the night before, answer a few questions. The students get the answers back so they know what they need to focus on. But importantly, the teachers also get that information. And so they can tell, okay, students are really understanding content around questions 1, 3, and 5. I don't really need, as a teacher, to focus a lot of my attention on that topic. So I need to focus on 2, 4, 6, and 7. And in that sense, it's a huge help for instructors in managing their time in the classroom.
For sure. Now for investors who are curious, what is the total addressable market here?
Total addressable market is something like 1.7 to 1.8 billion people around the world in literally every country on the planet today, growing to something like 2 billion people by 2020. So for ourselves, we have certainly picked segments that will best suit our marketing initiatives. We focused initially in Latin America, specifically, you talked about Brazil and Mexico. There's 350 million people between those two markets, generally a fairly low ESL skill level with a lot of need, combined with similar time zones and great relationships with Canada and Canadians. So it made a lot of sense for us to get started there, and then we'll expand into markets such as Japan, which spends $5 billion a year studying English, Taiwan, South Korea going forward, and then obviously the giants like China down the road once we get a little more traction and a little more size.
Very good. Now, how does Cloud9 make money? How much is your program?
So Cloud9 makes money by creating recurring revenue. So students pay a small monthly licensing fee that generates revenue for Cloud9 that wouldn't exceed what they would spend in a textbook in a year, but at the same time provides content for them which is always engaging and current, and in that sense relative to their life and what they're doing.
How do your teachers get paid?
Well, the teachers are paid by the institution, so it's important to understand that we aren't trying to build schools. We sell our program to established schools that offer English as part of their studies program. In Canada, you see 30,000 students, hundreds of ESL schools. Internationally, you have 1.5, 1.7 billion students, maybe a handful of curriculum developers. It made it a fairly simple question and answer about where we wanted to focus our attention and our efforts.
Very good. Now for 2017, the new year, what is exciting for you in your view as the CEO?
Well, just the opportunity to expand our growth into Mexico and Brazil. Certainly, we are looking to become cash flow positive around the end of the second quarter. We get 5,000 or 6,000 users in place, and suddenly we're in a position where we're cash flow positive with the program. That's always a good thing for investors to hear. But I think in terms of our opportunity to really cement our position as a leader in the industry, we have some very innovative intellectual property that's going to be added to our curriculum.
Oh, exciting.
That's going to make it very interesting for students, and importantly for our investors, securing their investment, their trust in us. These same IPs will create a lot of barriers to entry for our competitors trying to come in and follow us.
Well, I look forward to hearing some more great news, Michael. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Rachel. My pleasure.
To see Cloud9's Investor Hub, go to smallcappower.com and click Clients. Thank you for watching. I'm Rachel Lee for Small Cap Power.